Hey guys, well we're back and today we're going to be potting up my Bert Davy ficus cuttings. These larger ones that you see here, they look like stumps, but they're actually larger roots that I cut off the bottom of it, if you'll remember. Then we have some small little roots starting out at the bottom here, so we're going to get these potted up today, because these have to come inside now. And our tray has become almost like a little aquarium for some mosquito larvae. So we're just going to hurry up and get these potted up. Here's a little cutting that's, you can see the little roots starting to come out on it. And this one here, I'm going to have to determine little bit of a higher root plane than what we got going on at the bottom there. So I'll probably cut it off a little bit higher. We still have some roots coming out up here, so we'll be fine to take it off a little bit higher. And these roots will hopefully become small trunks, and we can start some new trees. More of a curiosity mission than anything. There's another one. You can see all the roots out at the bottom coming out. So we're going to get those potted up. I'll show you some other cuttings we're going to pot up. Oh yeah, I forgot here. I was going to mention I was in the bonsai zone there about, oh, it's almost a week ago now. And these are some cashew tree seedlings that I got from Nigel. They're doing, they're still doing good. I got to get these a little bit further under the light here. I did pot up these hibiscus seedlings almost a week ago, so they haven't wilted at all. So I think they've taken well to the repotting. I didn't change a lot with the roots. There was a couple of them that I did have a taproot, and I just cut the taproot off and didn't do too much else. But the rest of the roots did look quite good. So I got a few of them actually. So there's that one. There's this other one here. It's also taken quite well. I just put them in some nursery pots with some bonsai soil. Here's another one over here. It's actually, I think in the last week, it's actually put on a little bit of growth. So this one here has put out this new little leaf over here. So it's, I think they're enjoying themselves. Oh, while I'm over here, here's this Delonix regia from Jared at Jarhead Bonsai. This thing's really starting to take off this summer, and it just continues to grow. I brought it inside here, and we just finished putting out some new growth since I brought it inside. So it's been inside now for about 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. So it's still growing. So it's doing quite well. And we'll get to other updates. I actually have other updates I want to show you guys too after have done some previous work on other trees. Coming up here, I have some more cuttings and trees and things that I got in the bonsai zone. So here's another one I just potted up. Yeah, I have more of them, and we'll get to those. First thing I got to do, while I got time today, is to pot these cuttings up, and I'm going to show you these other cuttings we're gonna pot up here. So here's some guria cuttings. If you'll remember, we were trimming back my guria tree. We still have to get to the one. So they really take good to starting in water. So you can see that one long root coming off the bottom. So they really do well. Here's another one. You can see all those roots down near the bottom just starting. They're white. And here's another one. So we're going to get the potting these up, and we'll pot up the Davy ficus cuttings here, the roots, and a couple of the clippings. Well, it didn't take us long to pot these cuttings up. I think what we can do is we can continue on with looking at some of the cuttings and seedlings. So we've looked at our cashew seedlings. And the hibiscus seedlings, the one over here. If we come up to the top shelf here, I have a ficus religiosa cutting. I believe there was a leaf on here, but it got broken off in transportation, so hopefully it'll still make it. I did pot it up into some fresh bonsai soil and put it in this nursery pot. And over on this other shelf, the other side of the room, I have another hibiscus. This one was so tall that I had to cut it off because, well, it was getting to be about as high as my kapok tree, so I cut it away back to here. And it looks like we got some new growth coming out between this leaf stem and the trunk already, so that's good. Yeah, it's right in here. So, and then over here we have some Jerusalem thorn. So the leaves right now aren't looking too good. I just repotted them. These were in other soil. I had to cut the roots because they came down, and these were seedlings, so they had a long tap root, and they took away off out their side, so I did have to cut them back and left as many feeder roots as I could. But you know, it wasn't not the best conditions, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully they'll come back. There was a smaller one. You can see it back in here. It's actually doing better than these larger two here. Now the smaller one had smaller roots. Didn't have much of a tap root at all, so I just left everything intact and I potted it up in here also. So hopefully at least that one will live. That would be nice. The leaves are still looking good on it. But hopefully these two here will come around. We'll at least maybe start to get some growth out near the bottom. Even if the top dies, that's okay. We can cut them back at a later date. So that's them. Also, if we come over here, I have another kapok tree that I forgot to bring down to him. Now these were last year's cuttings. I took two down with me when I was down visiting him, and I forgot to bring this one here, but I'll have to run it down sometime. So we got some it doesn't look that good right now, but these are just really old leaves, and we got some newer growth in the center of the tree here, so it's actually doing quite well right now. And if we come down here, we have the Brazilian rain trees. So there's two of them in here, or three. There's three of them. The rest of these are cuttings. I just got done cutting these back. So I didn't do any root pruning. I just kind of basically did a slip pot into this other pot here. So these were growing in like a seed tray that Nigel had, and then we just kind of took the soil and the roots and everything and just kind of shifted it into this pot here. So, and then all I did was just add a little bit more soil after I got home here. So there's three trees in here. So there's this one here, and then there's another one back here. So, and these were all started by seed, by Nigel. So he started these by seed, and I believe these are about, well, they're at least 2 years old. They could be 3 years old, but I think they're at least 2 years old anyways. I forgot to ask him, but if I remember right, I think he did plant those about 2 years ago. Anyhow, I had to bring these away back also because they were quite tall. So all the cuttings I did plant around inside the pot here, so we'll see how they manage. And that's it for the cuttings and the seedlings that I got from in the bonsai zone. So what we'll do now is we'll look at a couple of trees, or maybe just a few of them quickly here that I've just previously worked on just recently. Well, the first one we're going to look at is the Davy ficus. This is the one. It's really coming back strong. Actually, if I hold it up towards the white door here, you guys might be able to see it better. You can see it's really starting to come back. Coming back really good. So it took the severe pruning quite well, and the severe root pruning very well. And those cuttings that I have, that I just got done potting up, are from this tree right here. So those heavy roots that now look like stumps are actually from the bottom of this tree here, if you remember in a previous video. So, and I'll show you another cutting that came off this tree while we're on it. So this is the cutting that came off the front of the tree. If you'll remember the branch that we took off, there was really no growth on it at all. And I put it in this little pot, and I just started it just as a cutting without starting it in the water. So I thought I would try this one differently. Without putting it in the water, I just put it in straight soil, and it's really taken off. So that's awesome. There really wasn't anything left on this cutting when I potted it. So we're just gonna put that back up here. There we go. And yep, that one, that came off the front right here. So you can see where we cut that off, if you'll remember. This one was more horizontal, coming out here, which would have been coming out to the front of the tree, which I didn't want. So that was the cutting there. So it looks like they take quite easily, so that's good. And one more that we're going to do here is my guria. We'll look at it too, because you just seen a couple of the cuttings that I started in there with the guria. They seem to root quite easily. Yeah, so you can see here, it's doing very well. We got some long shoots coming out on it. Even the lower branch here is getting some extended growth on it, which is really good. Just starting to come back really well. So once it all comes back, we'll let it grow out for a little while. We'll do some more structural pruning on it. We're not finished yet with the main trunk and things, so we'll come back and take another look at it, but it's coming back very well. I guess quickly here, we'll look at the kapok. The only one I did cut back was this one this year, which is one of the ones that did make it down to Nigel. It was in water. It was just starting to root. So he'll be able to get that potted up. And already here you can see we've got some new growth coming out of the side of the trunk here. So that's good. However, what isn't good is I lost this other little tree beside it. So it just died, basically started from the bottom. It was brown and just went all the way up. And it just withered away. So we're going to be pulling that one out anytime soon. But the other two are doing well, and I haven't cut those back this year. My tiger bark ficus, it's starting to come back. So that's good. My Fukian tea, it's really coming back. I mean, it's just taken right off. It's exploding in growth out of everywhere. So, I mean, it's doing excellent. So that's good. One more update while we're on this shelf over here. My bullhorn acacia cuttings that I have just growing in water, kind of experimental. One of the cuttings look like it's gonna make it. So you can see here in between those young green thorns there's some new growth that's coming out. This branch over here continues to grow. The weird thing is that I haven't seen any roots on the bottom of the cutting yet, so we'll have to, I don't know what's going on there. Kind of strange, but we're just gonna see what happens. Of course, I got the other cuttings in here and nothing green really left on those, but we'll just see if it starts putting some new growth out in some other areas. I guess we'll find out. One more update. Let's go down to the bullhorn acacias and check these out. So since I cut these away back a few weeks ago, they're starting to grow again, which is good. They're starting to put out some new growth on the lower branches that I pruned back to, so that's good. We got some new growth coming out over here and right by these thorns here, and also down below we have some new growth. So that's great. So they took very well to cutting them away back, and we'll continue letting them grow over the winter season. And next spring we're going to pull them out and we're going to do the first root pruning. So that'll be interesting to see. Okay, well, that's it for today, guys. And we'll be back very soon with some more tree work and updates. Take care, and bye for now.